Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Analytics Mindset. Continuing our small videos, in this case we're going to go with Boost Productivity with Gemini in BigQuery. This course is a 2-hour course, it is an introductory course and it is all about how do you use Gemini inside BigQuery. It is a relatively new feature that has been rolling for BigQuery. And if you use BigQuery in your environment, in your stack, you're going to really appreciate it, especially Canvas, when you are servicing non-technical customers. Now, it has 2 hours of content, as I said before, and you will get a lab and a lot of other things to do. As you can see here, this is the main part of the course. You start with the use case, prepare and explore data with Gemini in BigQuery. How do you assist on code development? Develop code with Gemini in BigQuery. Discover and visualize workflow through Canvas. Then you use Canvas to visualize and design queries. The summary, the quiz, reading, more reading if you want to, cross-batch and cross-serving. Now, the only thing you're going to get here actually is just a certificate of completion. That is all. As I can see here, that is a boost productivity with Gemini and BigQuery. You won't get anything else. You won't get, unfortunately, a badge that you can say on LinkedIn, but it is a good practice, especially as AI becomes a bigger part of our paths. Now, this is a part of a bigger activity called Gemini and BigQuery. As you can see, that's the first course, but then you have the other three of them, and the three of them are different. You can finish all of them, and then you can have the final course and wrap it up as a path instead. That I do believe that will come with an actual certificate that you can put. But let's talk a little bit about Gemini itself. Gemini is Google's main AI model, as you are well aware of it at this point. And as you can see, with the Boost Productivity with Gemini course, you are going to focus a lot on how to use it. So I'm going to go really quickly to some of it. All of this is public, and a lot of it is actually a video. So you don't need to worry about other things. But I don't want to go through the videos. I want to go through an actual material, and Canvas will be your friend for a lot of these things. Something you need to know is that for a lot of these things, they are actually labs. You need to do the stuff here. Now, there is two things you can do. Google gives you a free credit if you join the program. I think they just changed that though. Not anymore that I am part of the program. If your employer has, you can also do it through them. I prefer to not do it through my employer because credits, etc. And I just prefer to be able to share it here in my own YouTube channel. But you also get a certain free amount of labs every single month. You can also go on that. But as you can see, this one will be 1 credit and it's 30 minutes and it's an introductory lab. What do we do here? Here it's gonna ask you if you have never logged into the BigQuery console, please do that first. You're going to need to set up in BigQuery. You need to be able to do stuff in BigQuery and get familiar to how to navigate through tables. That will help you a lot more. Especially if you come from a more traditional database, let's say an Oracle database that is in your server or a SQL server on-prem. It's going to be very different the first time, but then it's going to start making sense. It's going to ask you to do a specific table, and then you're going to need to actually look into it. As you're signing with their account and using their resources, they can actually track your progress. And you should always use that. They will say, please do not use your personal account, because if you actually log in here and use that I could show you. I have done it in previous exercises we have gone together. But you won't be able to record this. Now, my main thing is you can create SQL queries. That's a good part of what they go through. See, creating SQL is one thing. If you're not familiar with SQL, Gemini will help you, will guide you through it. It will help to actually create the where clause, the from clause, etc. And it will also help you to actually debug queries. You want to put it with 2 decimal points. It will suggest you the round. And you can now do it as conversation. All of these things are very new to BigQuery. By the way, I've been using BigQuery for a while. Google has added in the last 3 to 4 months. This is very new and it's a product that keeps evolving. Google also has insights that basically scans your table. You are going to need some additional setup though if your administrator hasn't done it, like Dataplex, to scan that, the Gemini API, so you are able to actually access that. You can also ask it to transform it and say, I want it in descending place, I want it in ascending order, I want to group by this, etc. Now, the other part that I want to talk about is when you finish that, you will go to a Cisco development, develop code with Gemini and BigQuery, and the most important part is Canvas that I want to go through. But I want to show you how it will give you a case that says somebody gives you a query and the query is not working. How do we actually do things? Or you can also say you want to review the menu table schema. You want to review this table schema and you can just say, show me this, and Gemini will do it for you. It will scan the table and do it for you. You can also ask it to explain this query. If you get a very complex query that somebody else gave you, you can actually ask Gemini, hey, tell me about this, tell me about that. What is this doing? What is all this other thing doing? And finally, transform a query. If somebody gives you a query that is broken, you can actually just tell it to fix it. You can see here, it's creating a query. Now, something that you need to be aware of. The human in the loop component that you shouldn't actually outsource everything to BigQuery, to like Gemini, is that you need to understand what's happening because AI can hallucinate. It does use your table data, it does use a sample of it, it can scan it, but AI is still prone to defects and not getting everything correct. You need to be careful with that, very careful with that. And after that, you will be able to transform and just trim the decimal places. And the last part that I want you to show you here is Canvas. Canvas is a workflow for non-technical users where you can, I wish I could show it to you here, but again, because we are not here, you will see that it will show you the navigation menu and then you have the data canvas bottom here. Now you can actually do multiple things. You can say start with this query and then refine these results, get these data sources, and after that go to the next one, insert a new path, and then do something else there. You are basically creating a workflow that is very visual and says you have one path, then another one, and you can then create a bar from those values. And you can actually schedule and save it. That is the nice part of it. And you can see the chat summary. I wish BigQuery had something here to show you, but as you can see, you have most of that SQL there. Now, this is just a small course, but as I go more heavily into AI recently for this channel, I do want to leave you with this. It can assist you a lot, especially on when you are trying to search how is this syntax about? What do I need to do this? How do I need to do that? And always a human in the loop component is very good to have because you want to make sure that everything is in place, that the AI is not hallucinating, and most importantly, that when somebody asks you or challenges your assumptions, you will be able to explain them and say, this is how I did it. I did use AI to help me, but there is other things that I can do. And with that, I hope you had a very good time on this. I want you to explore the data canvas. Please use it if you're not familiar with SQL. It is a humongous help to start getting familiar with SQL. But yeah, and with that, I hope you have a good day. Thank you.